And so this was actually, we listened, and we have the EV Car Club, and we're getting more involved with those folks, and they're asking about time of use rates, and when's the best time for me to charge? When can I save money? And as we look at it, we also look to see, okay, but you know what? If we can move that usage to a lower price time, in essence, not only do we save those members money, back again to we save money for the co-op, which means we save money for everybody.
Right. This is Middle Tennessee Electric's Plugged In podcast. This podcast focuses on the world of electric vehicles. It is for all EV enthusiasts, whether you are an early adopter and have been driving an EV for years, or you're just starting your research, this podcast is for you.
Hello, I'm Brandon Wagner.
And I'm Amy Byers, and welcome to MTE's Plugged In podcast. So Brandon and I today are very excited about our topic and very excited about our guest. We are going to be discussing MTE's new rate plan that could potentially benefit some of our EV owners. And with us today is Cindy Layne, MTE's Chief Financial Officer. And she's going to talk us through this new rate plan. But before we get started on that, I want to congratulate Cindy for being the 2022 Nashville Business Journal's CFO of the Year. So congratulations on that. That's an awesome honor. And welcome to the Plugged In podcast. So I know that you and your team have been working really hard on this for, I don't know how many months, 18 months, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. Well, okay, I knew it was a while. So this rate plan will roll out April 1st.
Yes.
So, we're very timely with our podcast to discuss this. So before we really dive into the rate plans, can you tell us a little bit about what prompted your team to start looking at new rate options?
Sure. Amy, we recognize that our membership is very diverse and that we all have different needs when it comes to powering our homes and powering our lives. Also, with advancements in technology like EVs, like smart appliances, we wanted to give our members a choice in their energy plan that would fit their lifestyle and their energy needs. As you know, we've seen a tremendous increase in the number of EVs in the Middle Tennessee area, and we wanted to come up with a way that EV owners could save on their electric bill that made more efficient use of the electric distribution system. Right. And in doing that, we actually will save money for Middle Tennessee Electric, and thus really for all of our members, whether they own an EV or not. Mm-hmm.
How many EVs do you think, Brandon, that we have in our service territory?
If
you had to guess, I know you're just guessing.
Right, yeah. Last I looked, we were confidently between 5,000 and 6,000 EVs. Right. With Q1 of 2023, and especially the Tesla price reduction, I believe, just guessing, that we're over 7,000 at this point.
Now, when you say that 7,000 number, are you talking about the Middle Tennessee area, or are you talking about the MTE service area?
I'm talking about just the MTE
just
service
our
area.
members.
It doesn't include Nashville. Yeah. But one thing I do know pretty confidently is I've been told from TVA through their research is that Middle Tennessee Electric has more electric vehicles than any other local power company in the state.
Wow, that's exciting. Mm-hmm. Which is why we're doing all these things for our members and with the EV Car Club and the podcast and all the stuff that we're doing. So that is good. So let's talk about it. Okay. Let's talk about this new NiteFlex rate. Can you give us a kind of an overview?
So the NiteFlex rate is a time of use rate that will provide savings to our members if they can actually shift some of their energy use from what we call on-peak times when energy prices are the highest, to off-peak times. We want to encourage EV owners in particular to charge their vehicles overnight. And so the new NiteFlex rate actually has a savings between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. So basically the way it works, the basic service charge will be exactly the same as any other residential member, $21.75 a month. These members will pay an extra penny during the on-peak hours from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. Mm-hmm. But once 10 p.m. kicks in and they go to 4 a.m., they have a 3 cent per kilowatt hour savings. So that's very exciting. We think they can save money.
So especially if I know like dishwashers, I know you can program to start later at night. So if you could maybe do that
in addition to
your EV. To this,
yes.
I mean, there's other things. Maybe wait to maybe before you go to bed, throw your clothes in the dryer, maybe do something like that. So you could really add on to that and really see some potential savings.
Right.
So that will be good. Okay, so does this rate apply only to the EV charger? And I think we kind of just answered that question, didn't I? I just answered your last question, or the next question. So does this rate apply only to EV chargers or to the whole house?
No, this rate applies to the whole house. So everything that you're powering from the meter at your home. So really, anything that you can shift to this off-peak time from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.,
right,
you'll save 3 cents a kilowatt hour.
Right.
Yeah.
So that it just kind of compounds that savings as the more things you can figure out to do. So that is good. Yes. So Brandon, I'm going to turn to you now, and I've got a few questions for you. And Cindy, as chime in if you have something to add to it. So the first one is for a typical EV owner, how much money can they save each year by using this rate? And I know it's hard to say because you just don't know what people's lifestyles are and how people live. But for just on average, your typical person.
I think speaking in generalities, the first thing we need to look at is just on this normal rate that we have. If you were to stay on that and you drove, let's say 12,000 miles a year, I only expect people to spend about $400 a year to charge their vehicles if they do all their charging at home. And so, obviously if you drive more, you're going to spend more and that sort of thing. But I've got an EV and I calculate everything. I throw everything in Excel, right? My mile per gallon equivalent is over 92 right now. So just keep in mind that it's a very cost-effective mode of transportation, and our rates are super low as they are. So there's only $400 a year that we're trying to save you money on. So obviously, if you can move some more appliances and stuff off peak, you can probably save more. But our goal is to try to take that $400 and give some of that back to our members in a way that is really easy to follow. What I love about what Cindy's done with this rate is it's a set it and forget it rate. It's the same hours every day, 365 days a year. So if you can set your car and you can save some of that $400 that you're projected to spend, then why not do it and save yourself some money?
Yeah. Okay. And I have this is another question for the people like me out there. There probably is not a person like me out there, but anyway. There's different types of chargers you can put in your house. So, you have your fast charger, you have just a regular, just plug it in to a regular out. Do some of those use more energy than others? I mean, is that a player in this game at all? Or,
good question. Level 3 fast charging, you wouldn't be able to put that in your home. That requires a 480 volt service. So you're really limited to level 1 or level 2. Level 1 is just plugging it into a 120 volt outlet. I would suggest if somebody is only using level 1 at their home, probably not take this rate because you're not going to be able to get your charging done in that 6-hour window. You really need a level 2 charger to fully utilize the savings at this rate because most people can charge within a 6-hour window, but not without a level 2 charger.
Okay. All right. So my next question for you, Brandon, is, and I think actually you answered this question already, but I want to kind of reiterate it. Can you program the car or the charger to only charge during those NiteFlex hours?
Yes. I mean, these cars are like driving computers,
Right.
And so many of them come with apps. You can do all that configuration in your app. The Nissan Leaf is one that you can set in the dash. So some of the chargers have apps, and you can do your programming in your charger. But yes, all these EVs, there are ways that you can program your car, your charger, whatever you need to take advantage of this rate.
We had mentioned you've got to have a certain type of charger in your home. Just plugging it into the outlet might not work for you. Maybe some of your lifestyle, maybe this rate is not for you, or you just don't know. There's a lot of questions around this, like your charging habits, your charger. How do you know, if this is going to be right for you? And so my question to you is, can you help people look at all the variables and make this decision?
I think there is a checklist that you need to look at. One is, do you have a level 2 charger? And I do think you need to drive your vehicle probably at least 9 to 10,000 miles per year, and which most people don't have a problem with that. I've talked to a few folks that I've met through the podcast, and they wanted me to do some analysis, which it takes a little time, but they've already been charging overnight. And some of them, they save, but it's so minimal because they don't drive their car very often. So I do think, if you're driving 9, 10,000 miles a year, you're probably good. If you're not, it doesn't mean you shouldn't take the rate. It just means just don't set your expectations to fully utilize those savings.
Right. And you would be willing to help
as much as
people
as much as we
it?
can. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, we want to be a resource for folks, and obviously there's a lot of questions on our end. This is a pilot rate. There's nothing, to my knowledge, like this in the Valley yet. So brand new, and we're going to probably be a little resource strapped. So I'm certainly willing to help. Our strategy team's willing to help. Just be patient with us because we're probably going to have a lot of requests.
Right. And we have our email, the evcarclub@mte.com. So probably the best way for questions would maybe be just to email that, and then just keep in mind that it may take us a little bit to get to them through all that we've got going on. But we maybe could get some information. And I know we are working as well on getting some information on our website, MTE.com. So we're going to have a lot of information on there. We will have some FAQs on there. So, we're going to try to anticipate some of these questions and get them out there as well as we move forward. Of course, this is our first month in rolling this out, so everything is kind of in transition. So if you go to the website and it's not on there, check back in a few weeks. Just give us time to get all of this out there, because we want to make sure that when we put the information out there, it's the correct information, and we're trying to think of all the things that you could ask us for. So,
Amy, one thing I've talked with Cindy about was obviously there's going to be people who are interested to see, hey, what would I have saved money in the past 12 months if I'd have been on this rate? And we're happy to do some of that analysis, but it's really a behavior changing rate. And I'd like to see if Cindy would speak about that.
Right. So we actually, Amy, we did have rate analysis done by 2 rate consultants. The problem with looking at history is history, and there wasn't an incentive for our members to charge their vehicles during the off-peak time that we're talking about. So it's really, they're going to have to change their behavior. As Brandon mentioned earlier, it's pretty simple really to program your car to do that. In addition, set your appliances, your smart appliances like we talked about, to run after hours. So it's really designed to encourage our members to change their behavior so that they save money through this rate.
So this rate, I guess the big question is, and I think we've kind of answered this too, but do you have to have an EV to be on this rate?
You don't. You do, it's for any MTE residential member that has an AMI meter. You do have to have an AMI meter.
Right.
But you don't have to have an EV. However, if you don't have an EV and you're interested in this rate, I would encourage you to reach out to our member service folks. Let us talk with you, because we don't want you to go on this rate and actually pay more.
Right.
We want to make sure that you do have enough energy use that you can move to the off-peak hours to truly benefit from the rate.
Another thing I want to mention, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you cannot be on this rate if you are participating in our prepay program.
That's correct.
It is another option we have for our members. We try to have a lot of options for our members, because I think the goal that we have with the My MTE app is to put the power in our members' hands. Right. Give them control over their energy uses. Give them the tools they need to lower their bill, to see what's going on, to see when they're using a lot of energy, and which is all these things you can do through the app. And then we have these rate options with the traditional plans, the levelized billing, the prepay, and now the NiteFlex. Right. So I think what we're trying to do as a cooperative is just make sure that our members have options and we're meeting their needs. And I think that this new rate is a huge step in that direction as well. So I guess to finish up, the last question, and probably the most important, is how do you sign up?
Okay, well, you can sign up by calling our member service, 1-877-777-9020, or stop by one of our offices. You can always do that. We're in the process, Amy, of updating our website, so
Right.
soon we'll have it available so members can sign up there as well.
Yes.
But reach out to us.
Yeah, so always, check that website, mte.com/rates, or driveev.com for, other EV questions. But yeah, we're real excited. We probably will bring this up again. I would like to do another podcast maybe in 6 months or a year. I don't know how long it would take. We talked about this being a pilot program, so I know you, Brandon, and I know during this whole pilot program, you're going to be collecting all the data and analyzing it and everything. So I really feel like we'll need to circle back and have some talks later after this is rolled out, after people are participating in it, see how it's going and see, where we go in the future with this rate. So very excited. Thank you, Cindy. Was there anything else that I didn't ask you that you feel like we need to cover? Or?
I do, actually, Amy. What I want to bring up is really, this came from our membership. So we listened to our membership, and it was an idea from them, especially as members. We talk about the growth in EV ownership in our area here in Middle Tennessee.
7,000.
Right, just on Middle Tennessee Electric, right?
Right.
And so this was actually, we listened, and we have the EV Car Club, and we're getting more involved with those folks, and they're asking about time of use rates, and when's the best time for me to charge? When can I save money? And as we look at it, we also look to see, okay, but you know what? If we can move that usage to a lower price time, in essence, not only do we save those members money, back again to we save money for the co-op, which means we save money for everybody.
Right. So Cindy, thank you so much for joining us today. This new NiteFlex rate is a very exciting topic, and I think a lot of people are going to be interested in listening to this podcast. So if anyone out there has any questions about the NiteFlex rate, you can certainly email us at evcarclub@mte.com, and make sure to be looking at our website. Hopefully in the next month or so, we're going to have more information on the NiteFlex rate on that website, and you can get to that at mte.com/rates. For more information on MTE's Drive EV programs or the EV Car Club, visit driveev.com or email us at evcarclub@mte.com. Until next time, plug in, power up, and drive safe.